Ticket Machine is the official ticket broker of Spartan Nation. No matter what you need a ticket for, border to border, coast to coast, the Ticket Machine is your ticket source. So whether you need to get into the hottest concerts, the best sporting events, you want the best seats in the house, or you just want to get in the door, when you want to go to any event that requires a ticket, anywhere, border to border, coast to coast, it's always theticketmachine.com. Theticketmachine.com, 517-655-3201. Check it out today at theticketmachine.com.
Welcome back to Spartan Nation. We now bring in one of our favorite guests. Man, we love this guy. He is the beat writer that covers the University of Michigan. He's one of the best in the business. I'm proud to call him my good buddy, Nick Baumgardner from the Detroit Free Press. Nick, how are you, friend?
Good, How are you?
Good. The last time you were on, I actually had somebody send me an email and ask me to ask you, are you enjoying your new job with the Free Press? Same job, but different company. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been a little different, but not that much different. So, change of scenery on some level, but it's been good. I'm excited and, doing a lot of the same stuff, which I like, and just keeping on.
All right, I got to tell you a funny story. My friend Jack, who is an absolute Michigan fanatic, who just swears by all thing Nick Baumgardner, his son was stunned that I knew you. You know Nick Baumgardner? No. So there you go. Merry Christmas, you little famous.
Merry Christmas, yeah. That's good. I like it.
All right.
I love it.
Yeah, hey, they're your fans. You love them. They read you. This game to me, first of all, if I'd have ever told you that Michigan would have more media access than Michigan State, would you have ever believed it?
Wow, no, I wouldn't have. That's Michigan State just do the one day then?
Yeah, they did. They did today, and then tomorrow they canceled having the assistant coaches out there. They're turning into Fort Schembeck.
Wow, I guess so. Yeah, we got 3 days this week. We got 3 days. We got Harbaugh, assistants, and players again on Tuesday. So yeah, that's crazy times, man. Things are changing, I guess, huh?
Yeah, they are. Okay, let's talk about this game. I want to start with the Michigan defense, where I think they're the third best in the country. The only thing defense better than them, in my opinion, is Alabama and Clemson. I think they're that good. Where am I wrong?
Yeah, the only question left, with the Michigan defense is what they would do against, an elite level passing attack, an elite quarterback with great receivers. But really, if you think about it, I don't know if that question even gets answered in the Big Ten. So really across the board, they've got their front seven has been phenomenal. They lead the Big Ten in sacks. They're one of the top teams in the country in sacks. They're one of the top teams in the country in tackles for loss. Total defense, they were number one after 4 weeks. I think opposing quarterbacks are like 40% through the air against them. So it has been relentless. They've been fast with the football. They swarmed. Chase Winovich is having, frankly, an all Big Ten, maybe even more than that level season right now through 4 weeks. Devin Bush has been an all Big Ten level linebacker. A lot of guys playing for the first time, heavy reps that were really hungry, and a lot of guys who are really, really good athletes who are just being cut loose and flying all over the field. So it's been a great start for them, and they've been dominant. That's the best way to recap it.
I totally agree with you. Okay, let's start on Michigan's offense. How are they different with O'Korn than with Wilton? Because I got to tell you, talking to the players today, they don't think they're that much different.
No, it's really not. It's really not any kind of, it's not going to be a different scheme or different system or anything else. I think you could see different wrinkles with John O'Korn. He's a little more mobile than Wilton Speight. But at the same time, Wilton was, in my opinion, better in the pocket in terms of pocket awareness, although John O'Korn looks like he's improved some of that. But in open space, John O'Korn's a better runner. I could see them maybe working in some run-pass option stuff. I think you could see some of that. But the basic fundamental scheme won't change. They may do some different things more with John O'Korn than they were doing with Wilton Speight, but the basic idea of, being downhill, playing with multiple tight ends, tight ends being a factor in the pass game and the run game, and, trying to work play action. I think that's all still there. It's just a different guy facilitating it. So he may have, quicker feet, but at the same time, he's smaller. He's not as difficult to take down if you get hands on him. So, there are differences, but a lot of it, yeah, like you say, like Michigan State's probably right on the money with that. A lot of it's not going to change. It's just maybe a wrinkle here or two that could be a little different.
I know you have to guess because you don't have a computer in front of you, but what percentage of their running plays have a fullback?
It's gone down some, I would say, this year. I think a lot of it has gone down. In his first year here, the percentage of effective running plays was probably 65, maybe more than that. All the power stuff, they've done a lot more zone this year. They've done a lot more spread the field and run zone through that. So that hasn't worked, however, very well. So it's still a situation where their effective stuff, the stuff that really seems to work more often than not, features one of those fullback, H-back type, Khalid Hill can be a fullback and or a tight end or an H-back, whatever you want to call it. So a lot of their stuff still absolutely factors into that. And, they've got 3 of them. So those guys are on the field quite a bit.
We salute Jack's son, Dakota, and saying that we're talking to the immortal Nick Baumgardner from the Free. And, Nick, I want to carry this through a little bit more now. So I want to ask you about I've asked you about the speed of the defense. I've asked you about the offense. Talk about their special teams.
Yeah, well, Quinn Nordine, obviously, through 4 weeks, one of the most productive kickers in the Big Ten and in the country. He's been, I think he has 11 makes, maybe 12 makes, something like that, as a first-year kicker. He's shown leg from 55 yards. He's hit from 50 yards. He's been terrific. A great weapon for them, especially for an offense that sort of struggled to get things going. They made a switch at punter 2 weeks ago at Purdue. They brought in the freshman Brad Robbins, who was the top-ranked punter in the country, but also a true freshman. So a lot of young guys. You've got a redshirt freshman kicker, a true freshman punter, and then Donovan Peoples-Jones, a true freshman receiver from Cass Tech, who brought one back for a touchdown there against Air Force a couple weeks ago, and has been, electric at times back there, and been more steady at times back there too. So it's a young, maybe the youngest group of the 3, but all guys who are pretty good. They're pretty talented players. Nordine, they're very confident with him from 40 and out. Maybe even 50 on if the wind is right. Donovan Peoples-Jones, they're very comfortable with him handling the punts, and if you're not in your lanes properly, he can, as anyone who's followed Detroit area football the last 3 or 4 years, he can make anybody look foolish. So, emerging, I would say it's probably getting better every week. The special teams has improved quite a bit from week 1. It really has. They're doing a nice job with that. A lot of those guys buying into it, and it's getting better and better.
Nick, do you think? Let me ask you about kickoffs. Does your kickoff guy get the ball in the end zone?
Yeah, so I think for the first 3 weeks, I can't remember about Purdue, but I think for the first 3 weeks, every single one of them went through. James Fogue. The difference this year for Michigan is that they've had 3 kickers doing all 3 jobs. So you've got James Fogue handling kickoffs, Quinn Nordine as your place kicker, and Brad Robbins would be your punter. Last year, Michigan had Kenny Allen do all 3. So, usually when you have somebody do all 3, and even though Kenny Allen was super talented, something's going to suffer a little bit. The benefit now for Michigan is that you've got a new guy doing all 3, a fresh leg in there doing everything. So far all the kicking's been pretty good. It's been solid, and like I say, like improving and getting better.
So Nick, what's your impression of Michigan State?
Yeah, I think defensively, I've been impressed with the numbers I've seen. I think that they've, even in that Notre Dame game where they I think Notre Dame had 38 points, but I think you look at the box score and the turnovers kind of tell the tale there, where the offense was putting them in terrible situations. And I think Michigan State outgained them in that game too. So I like what I've seen from the defense in terms of stopping the run. The pass defense has been solid as well. Of course, they've gotten more pass rush this year than they had last year at any point. So getting back a little bit, somewhat more familiar to what we were used to seeing when they were really, kind of rocking and rolling. I don't think they're there yet, but, you can kind of look at that group and say, okay, this looks familiar now. This looks like a Mark D'Antonio defense, a group that everybody's used to watching every week. Offensively, still seems like they're trying to find their way. The turnovers have obviously hurt. I like Brian Lewerke a lot. As long as he can stay healthy, I think that he's got a chance to be really, really good. I don't know if I'm a big fan of asking him to run as much as they've had to ask him, because he's just not that big of a guy. So that would be one concern I would have. But I do like what he brings to the table from a escapability standpoint. He's got a good arm, nice player. It's just, kind of like Michigan, their offensive line looks like it might be the one area that just isn't there right now. And And so, in a lot of ways, I look at Michigan State and I say, well, a lot of it's pretty similar to Michigan. You got a defense that's playing well. Special teams looks like it's getting better. Offense is still kind of finding its way, and we'll see if they can find an identity here.
What's your prediction? And I give you full permission to change it in the Freep as it gets closer. But if you were picking today,
I don't have a score yet, but I think it'd be. I'm going to take Michigan, but I'll take them by less than like 7 or less. I think it'll be a 1-score game. I think this is a low-scoring game. I think this is something that goes down to the fourth quarter. I don't think this will be a blowout. I don't think this will be a rout. I think this is something where both offenses are going to struggle. Maybe Michigan can force some more turnovers. I think Michigan's defense is the best unit on the field, and I think that's the difference there for me, is that I'll take the team with the best unit on the field, and that group can carry them through and to a narrow kind of physical hard-fought win.
He's the great Nick Baumgardner from the Detroit Free Press. Nick, tell everybody your Twitter handle real quick.
Yeah, just at Nick Baumgardner, NickBaumgardner. Thanks,
brother. We'll be back.